Hello, how are you? Today I am going to explain Ohm's law to you. I will explain it step by step, part by part, so that after this class, you understand it perfectly and know how to apply it. While I am introducing you to the part about Ohm's law, I will necessarily have to mention other things that are a little bit more advanced, but I will try to focus entirely, just focus it on the part about Ohm's law. However, if you are already learning Kirchhoff's current laws, for example, or Kirchhoff's voltage laws, then this will also help you justify that matter, to justify how that is happening. You can't separate them, right? But we usually get used to seeing things step by step. So the first step, if you want to understand electrical circuits a little bit, is to understand Ohm's law. It is the foundation of everything. So, the first thing I'm going to leave for you here is a little song that aims to help you get into this topic of Ohm's law in a simple, practical way. It is focused on those who do not know it, those who are seeing it for the first time, with the intention that you more or less master it, more or less learn the formula, which is voltage equals current times resistance, or current intensity times resistance, or V equals I times R, depending on how you say it. However you want to mention it is fine. In some places, they change the letter, and instead of V, they use E, and so on, right? Everyone has their own variations, but in general, if you understand it this way, it is the first step toward understanding Ohm's law. First of all, let's see what it is. So, I'll leave you with a song, and when the song ends, I'll continue with the class.
There's a law that sparks and shines. Energy flows through hidden lines. Voltage, current, resistance too. They dance in rhythm, pure and true. If voltage rises, the current will flow. But with more resistance, it starts to slow. V equals I times R. I equals V over R. R equals V over I. The law, you'll never say goodbye. Here, just pure connection. Energy moves in one direction. Every charge has its reason why. Every circuit has a heart inside. Ohm could see and chose to teach how force and flow each other reach. V equals I times R. I equals V over R. R equals V over I. The law, you'll never say goodbye.
Alright, that was the song. How was it? What did you think? I hope you liked it. At least I liked it quite a bit for a first approach to the topic, so you don't forget the formula, because often you forget it, or often when you are starting out you don't remember how it went. You remember that maybe it was a simple formula, but you confuse letters. You confuse where each one went. So, the goal of repeating it so many times in the song is just for that. Just so you can start understanding, start learning the ways in which you can see this law, right? That we normally see it as V equals I times R, but sometimes you see it rearranged, and sometimes when you are seeing this for the first time, it confuses you, right? Once you have mastered it, it doesn't matter how you see it. You can see any letter isolated. However, sometimes when we are starting out and just beginning to see a term, if they change it a little, it confuses us a lot. So that is exactly what the song is about. It focuses on helping you internalize it, right? To help you learn it. It is very important that we recognize that for us to learn things, it is a matter of repetition. We are always repeating things when we truly learn. And think about when you have learned anything. You learned it through repetition. So, music is a, let's say, relatively comfortable way for you to be repeating things. So, if you liked it, I have the link to the song by itself there, so you can listen to it as many times as you need until you learn it. Until you learn at least the little formula, so you never forget it and have it ready. Once we have seen the formula, let's understand a little more how this works, how voltage works, how current works, and how resistance works. It is important to mention that we are not going to get ahead of ourselves with anything else right now. We are only looking at three things. It can be confusing because if you start researching, you will see that many things are related. There are so many things that are related. One of the things that is related is that, for example, the analogy I am using in the song, which is the water flow one, let's say it is an analogy that has its flaws. If you want to know what those errors are, I have a video right here where I explain this issue of the errors, but I'm not going to focus on that. It is simply a very good way to understand it as a first approach, which is what we are doing right now to start seeing and getting into this topic. For now, we are not going to include anything other than voltage, current, and resistance. So, once we have voltage, current, and resistance, the first thing we should look at is, well, let's see what happens when I have voltage, current, and resistance interacting with each other. And so, for this, we are going to look at this animation where, as you can see, we have a voltage, a current, and a resistance here. And in fact, I am also leaving you the link to this animation somewhere around there. You can manipulate it however you like. You can be varying the voltage, varying the current, and varying the resistance in whatever way you prefer. But basically, the goal of this animation is for you to realize what happens when you change the voltage, what happens when you change the resistance. If you increase the voltage and the resistance stays the same, since the equation you have is that V equals I times R, and so if you change the voltage and the resistance stays the same, what has to happen to the I? The I has to increase so that the equation remains the same. So if the voltage goes up and you kept the resistance the same, the current also goes up. However, if the resistance goes up, then what happens to the current? Well, the current has to go down, right? Because if the resistance goes up and the current stays the same, then the voltage would also have to go up. So, basically that is it. It is that you understand the relationship between these three letters. Voltage and current have a directly proportional relationship. That means that with higher voltage, there is higher current. Voltage and resistance are also directly proportional. The higher the resistance, the higher the voltage. If you only relate these without changing the third one, right? If you don't change the current and you increase the resistance, then the voltage increases. So it depends on what you are changing. You will always have to keep one fixed, so to speak, to understand the other two, right? Because it is a relationship of three letters. So you do not change one. For example, if I do not change the resistance and I increase the voltage, then the current increases. If I do not change the resistance and I lower the voltage, the current drops. If I do not change the current, if I increase the resistance, the voltage increases. If I do not change the current, right? If I do not change the current, if the voltage drops, the resistance drops. So, voltage and current have a directly proportional relationship. Voltage and resistance do too. And when we are talking about current and resistance, they are inversely proportional. Now, watch out. The normal or common thing is that what is being adapted, just as is happening in this animation, is that what is being adapted is the current. Because let's say that physically, what you are going to be changing, what you have more possibility of modifying, is the voltage and the resistance. Normally, the current is left as whatever is passing through. In other words, you can use one resistor or another, or you can increase or decrease the voltage, but it is difficult to control the current. You can do that too, but it is usually like this. Generally, you only modify voltage or resistance, and the current is what compensates for the change. That is, if you modify the voltage and the resistance stays the same, the current goes up or down just like the voltage. If you change the resistance and the voltage stays the same, the current is what goes up or down. And if you increase the resistance, the current drops. If you lower the resistance, the current rises. That is basically it. I hope this makes it a little clearer for you and that you can keep learning a bit more. Once we have understood this part, we are now going to move on to a slightly more complex example. We are going to see how we can manage a circuit where we already have several resistors, and basically the way in which we can connect the resistors is two. We have resistors in parallel and resistors in series. So the first thing I am going to leave you with here is a circuit with resistors in parallel so you can see what happens. Did you know that Ohm's law helps us to understand how current, voltage, and resistance behave in a circuit? I'll explain it to you with this circuit, and little by little, we'll activate the next resistors so you can fully understand what happens. We'll begin with the most basic circuit. We have a power supply, which is the component that's providing us with all the necessary electrical energy. Then we have the resistance component, which currently has a value of 10 ohms. In addition to this, we also have the ammeters, which are specifically designed to measure the electrical current that is flowing through the various cables, and a voltmeter, which is used to accurately measure the electrical voltage. In the initial state, we could clearly see that Ohm's law is perfectly obeyed. Remember that voltage is equal to current multiplied by resistance, or, in this specific case, 5 volts is equal to 0.5 amps multiplied by 10 ohms. And if we then increase the voltage, given that the resistance still remains at 10, what necessarily has to happen is that the current will grow. For Ohm's law to still hold true, now that we have a voltage of 72 with a current of 7.2 and the resistance remains at 10. And if we now increase the resistance value, then the current has to decrease. It's important that you observe in all three ammeters that the current flowing through the entire circuit is the same in all three. And the greater the resistance, the smaller the current. Now, let's return to the initial condition. We have a 10 ohm resistor connected to the circuit with a current of 0.5 amps and a voltage of 5 volts. When we add a resistor in parallel, notice that automatically the current in the entire circuit increases, because since the second resistor is also subject to 5 volts, then for Ohm's law to be fulfilled, in that resistor, 0.5 amps must pass through it, and through the original resistor as well. So now, in total, 1 amp flows through the circuit, half through each resistor. For this particular reason, we could effectively replace this circuit, which has 2 resistors, with an equivalent circuit that contains only a single resistor, specifically one of 5 ohms. Now, we activate the third resistor and see what happens. Again, 0.5 amps will flow through that resistor, making the circuit's total 1.5 amps. Here, pause the video and tell me what will happen if we enable the fourth resistor. What will be the new current value, right? Will it be greater or smaller? Let's see if you got it right. We activate the final resistor and 0.5 amps flow through it, meaning that in total, 2 amps are present in the circuit and are distributed across each resistor. This entire circuit could be substituted with an equivalent circuit featuring just one resistor of 2.5 ohms. If you found this video useful, I encourage you to share it so it can assist even more individuals. If you have any questions, tell me and I'll try to answer them in the comments. Alright, now that you have seen the circuit with resistors in parallel, we are going to look at a circuit with resistors in series. Now, let's understand how a series circuit works when the resistors are connected one after the other. In this example, we start with a 12-volt voltage, which you can check on the power source and on the voltmeter intended for this. We start with only one resistor connected, even though the other 3 appear. But notice how the current flow is happening by the switches next to the other resistors. So at this moment, it's as if the other resistors don't exist, and we only have one 10 ohm resistor that's subject to the same 12 voltage. You can see it on the other voltmeter. For Ohm's law to be fulfilled throughout the circuit, a current of 1.2 amperes is flowing. We add another resistor by disconnecting a switch, and notice that as soon as we do, the total current in the circuit drops to half because the resistance increased to double. And remember, Ohm's law must be fulfilled. But something else is happening. Notice that the voltmeter measuring the voltage of the resistor now shows 6 volts, and if we measure the voltage on the other resistor, it also shows 6 volts. It is very interesting to observe that in each resistor, Ohm's law applies with a voltage of 6 volts, a current of 0.6 amperes, and a resistance of 10 ohms. Furthermore, this could be replaced by an equivalent circuit with a 12-volt source and a single resistance of 20 ohms. Once more, we add another resistor. The current decreases again. Now it is 0.4 amperes throughout the circuit, and each resistor has a voltage of 4 volts. Before adding the last resistor, tell me what you think will happen with the current. Will it increase or decrease? Let's see what happens. We activate the last resistor, and that's it. Just as you thought, the current decreases again. Now it is 0.3 amperes, and in each resistor we have 3 volts. It is worth mentioning that this circuit could be changed for an equivalent circuit with a single resistor of 40 ohms, that is, just by adding the values of the resistors in series. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to share it so it reaches more people. Let me know your questions in the comments so I can try to help you. Very well, you have already seen circuits with resistors in series and circuits with resistors in parallel. You have already noticed what happens in circuits with resistors in parallel. They are all subject to the same voltage, right? And so what is changing there is that the current supplied by the source will increase every time you add another resistor, right? Because they are all subject to the same voltage and Ohm's law is being met in each resistor. So, in this example I gave you with all the resistors of the same value, since all the resistors were the same value and all were subject to the same voltage, then the same current had to flow through each resistor. And so, at the end of the day, the current that started at the beginning had to increase because it was going to be distributed through each of the resistors. I hope that was clear to you. And on the other hand, with resistors in series, what happens? The voltage is no longer maintained. Here, what stays the same is the current, right? The current was the same the whole time, passing through all the resistors, and the voltage kept changing, right? The voltage depends on the number of resistors you had. When you had 2 resistors, well, the voltage was half of the total voltage, so to speak. When you had 3 resistors, the voltage across each resistor was 1/3 of this. Mind you, this is because they were equal resistors of the same size. If they were different sizes, it would change slightly, but basically, this is what happens. In a way, in series resistors, the voltage is divided among the resistors. And in the end, if you add up the voltage of each of the resistors, it will give you the original voltage. So basically, these are the 2 ways you have to connect circuits. I recommend that you try making different circuit configurations so you can understand how Ohm's law works. And remember that in each of the resistors, in all the resistors you have in your circuits, this Ohm's law will always be fulfilled, which I hope you already know by heart today. V equals I times R. If you have any questions or anything, leave them for me in the comments. See you in the next one.